Pretty early on in our process, we made the decision to do a southbound hike instead of a northbound hike, as Caitlin wanted to finish out the month of June at her job, so we knew we weren't going to be able to start a southbound hike. So for those who are curious, our hike starts here at Mount Katahdin. We're summiting on July 7th. From there, we will go south through the 100-mile wilderness, where we'll be carrying, pretty much food for the entire trip on our backs for that 100 miles. Maybe we'll get a resupply in the middle. And work our way down through Maine during the month of July, including one of the most difficult miles, the Mahoosic Notch, right before the Maine-New Hampshire border. There it takes us through the White Mountains of New Hampshire, which are some of the most difficult. The Presidential Range is very famous. Weather can be highly unpredictable. Before coming into the New Hampshire-Vermont area and working our way down into Massachusetts, which we anticipate being sometime around the end of August. All of our mileage estimates here are based off of about 15-mile days, give or take, between spots. A little bit extra time up north. Finally, around mid-September to early September, we'll be making our way down to Bear Mountain State Park, which is where you can see this picture at the top of Bear Mountain State Park, around September 7th in that area, for all of our New York friends out there. Before we make it to the New York-New Jersey border and into Roxylvania. Pennsylvania is one of the longer states on the trek, and it's going to take us probably 2 or 3 weeks to get through Pennsylvania, depending on the weather. Perhaps we'll do the challenge to get across the entire Maryland state in a single day. That's a long day hiking, but who knows, maybe we're up for the Maryland challenge. Or we make it to the halfway point at Harper's Ferry. It's mile about 1,166, and halfway through your hike. Which takes us to the longest state of our journey, the state of Virginia, which goes to the Shenandoah Valley, near Caitlin's family, near where we went to school at Emory and Henry College, a lot of our friends who still live in Damascus and Emory and Bristol and that whole area. Oh, and shout out to family who will be living in West Virginia at the time. Maybe we'll get to see them as well. Finally, after a month of hiking in Virginia or so, around Halloween, we plan to make it to the Tennessee-Virginia border in Damascus, and this is kind of the final push, where we will be pushing down through the Tennessee, North Carolina Smoky Mountains, which are some of the steepest mountains on the trail, as well as Clingman's Dome, which is the highest point on the Appalachian Trail, near, as you see here, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where I spent much time as a child, before finally making the North Carolina-Georgia border, going into Georgia for the last 80-90 miles to arrive, finally, after the long hike, at Springer Mountain. So the trail in all is 2,189 miles. We think we'll finish sometime before Thanksgiving. Caitlin wants to really finish on the 11th of November. For people who know her, this reason is obvious, 11/11. For the rest of us, we just look at her and say, yep.
7/7 to 11/11.
7/7 to 11/11. You heard it here, folks. Anyway, this is the rough outline of the plan. We don't know exactly how long things will take. It could take longer, it could take shorter. It just really depends on how fast we're going and what kind of miles we're making. Obviously, we would like to be as expeditious as possible, but we're not going to set hard deadlines on ourselves. We look forward to seeing all of you guys out there as we're going down the trail. And if you want to put up with a few smelly hikers, just let us know, and we'll be happy to come by and see you and grace your shower with our funk. Peace, guys.